Alright, what is going on, everybody? This is Trudger MC, and today we are back at it again with the Marvel Select reviews. Today we are looking at Thanos, the Special Collector Edition action figure, also known as Comic Book Thanos from Marvel Select, with death. And we'll be looking at both of these soon enough, but I think before we do that, we should do a comparison that makes sense. So here they are. And then here is Spider-Man. As you can see, that scaling actually makes sense, that he's, like, quite a bit shorter than Thanos. But it's all good. And then, just for fun, here he is with another comparison that kind of makes sense. Here he is with the Hasbro Epic Hero Thanos. And as you can see, they are a completely different scale. But that's totally fine. At least it makes sense to have, comic book Thanos representation here. Because if you've seen my review of this guy, then you'll know that I actually was not a huge fan of MCU Thanos. I like comic book Thanos way more. But here he is, and then as far as how tall this guy's really heavy, by the way. As far as how tall he is, let's say 8 and 3/4 inches, 8.5 inches, somewhere around there. So somewhere between 8.5 and 8 3/4 inches. Then that makes him, let's say, just under 22 centimeters. So this guy's really big, and he's really heavy. And we might as well look at Death as well. The girlfriend. And then she stands, because she can only stand, she stands pretty much exactly 7 inches. Or she is, let's say that she is just under 18 centimeters. So there you go. We'll look at her momentarily. For right now, let's look at Thanos. So here he is. He definitely looks accurate for the Mad Titan, as he should be. He's got these white eyes, and he's got some like nasty teeth. He's got like this imperfect chin that's got like these ridges on there, which makes sense for his character. And then he's got like, some gold here around there for his helmet design, so that looks accurate. He's got whatever this is supposed to be. I know he has that, like a shoulder thing, as well as like a collar. I don't know what it is. You can see some really good musculature details there. Definitely looks accurate enough. And then he's got, like I said, some more musculature with his arms there. Then for his gloves look good. They look like they're simultaneously metal as well as like, I don't even know, like leather. They look like they're like leather and metal at the same time. I don't know how that would work, but that's what they look like. Then you do have sort of a soft goods skirt piece or tunic or whatever this is. So that's pretty cool. And then you get some gold underneath there. And then, yeah, you get some blue. And then, like I said, for the boots, it almost looks like the same kind of thing. It's like they're metal and they're leather at the same time. So that's about it. And then as far as articulation goes, his head can turn all the way around, and it can also go up, and it can go down, because it has sort of an old school joint there. It's the same kind of joint that they use for like all of the Marvel Legends figures, with the disc hinge. So doesn't really work the best for Marvel Legends, but I think for this guy it's fine. He can't really do a whole lot, but I think it's fair for this guy, because let's face it, he's taller than most people, so he'd be looking down at them anyway. So, there you go. And then as far as his arms go, they can go out, let's say, about that far. So, that's pretty good. And then you do also get a rotation. They can go all the way around, and this is kind of soft, so it doesn't really get in the way. You do get a bicep swivel there. You get a single joint for the elbow. It's kind of tight, but there you go. So, single jointed elbow. You do also get a rotation there for the wrist. And then for the torso, you just get a simple twist there. And then for the legs, they go out about that far. They could probably move further out, but that would stretch this, and I don't want to do that. So they go forward about that far and back a decent amount, so that's pretty good. And then you do get a single joint for the knee. So there you go. There is that. So that's pretty good. And then you do also get, you do not get a boot swivel, but you do get an ankle that goes back that far, and it goes forward that far. And that's about it. So that's about all that the articulation has for Thanos. And then for Death, this is going to be really quick. Really quick. So here she is. She looks really good. I really like this color, this like faded purple. It's almost like a plum color. I don't know what this is, but yeah. And she doesn't look too death-like. She kind of looks like a mannequin or like an animatronic or something like that until you take this off and then prepare to be jump scared. Prepare to be jump scared. Prepare to be rah! So, yeah. There you go. And yeah, so this definitely looks accurate to Death from the comics. As far as the MCU, well, I don't know. I haven't seen the Agatha show. But yeah, this definitely looks like Death from the comics. So if you have the Marvel Select Deadpool, you can have him with her. I did actually pre-order the Ryan Reynolds Deadpool from Marvel Select. That'll be coming in, I don't know when, but I did pre-order that. So stay tuned for that in like a few months or whenever that's coming. But yeah, so there is Death, and she looks pretty good. And then as far as articulation goes, she has nothing. So it's basically just a statue because there's nothing in the arms or really anything else. She is just a plastic piece of plastic. And if you've seen Nerdzoic, shout out to Nerdzoic and their video of top 10 Marvel Select figures, you'll know why I said this is a plastic piece of plastic. But yeah, so that's about it. And then that's all that you really have there. And again, I don't really know why she has this face, but there you go. If you want her to be, I don't know if it would be less scary or more scary, because like you have a skull face or you have this like uncanny valley human face. I don't know which is scarier, but you can have that option. And then as far as accessories go, well, there is this. So as per usual, y'all have seen this before if you've seen my other Marvel Select reviews. It's basically just the same list of figures and characters and all of that. And I do actually have plans to get maybe like one or two more of those that are on that list. But you know the drill by now. I have to ask always, where is the Marvel Select Kamala Khan? We need a Marvel Select Kamala Khan. Because I still don't get it how they showed so many Marvel characters on here. And aside from Miles Morales and maybe this version of Iron Man, I don't think they've adapted any of these specific looks for the characters. And they haven't made a Ms. Marvel at all. So we need a Marvel Select Kamala Khan. Please, if anyone from Diamond Select is watching, please make that happen. Thank you very much. But yeah, so there's that, but that's really nothing special. And we will look at the box. But the other thing that Thanos does come with is that you might have noticed that with his hand here, he doesn't have, he doesn't have the gems, the sparkles, the Infinity Stones. And the reason for that is because that's a separate piece. And what you're meant to do is you're meant to detach this and then plug this in. And it doesn't have any articulation, nothing in the fingers, but you can see all of the stones there. So there you go. I'm not entirely sure like which one is which, but if y'all want to let me know, you can. I think this is the Mind Stone, and like, I don't know. But yeah, so there's all that. Now, like I said, you're supposed to unplug this and then plug this in its place, but I could not for the life of me get this out. And I know what you're going to tell me. You're going to tell me use hot water or use a hairdryer. Well, I tried the hot water and I couldn't really get very far, and then with the hairdryer, I don't have one of those. So just pretend for this sake, I will try later, but for the sake, you can just pretend that this would work and it looks really cool. I want it to be on there, but for now, I can't get it. I will work on that later, and I'll see if I can get it to work. But yeah, so there you go. And then really the only other thing to talk about is, as per usual, with Marvel Select, we have to go over the massive packaging. So there is Thanos Special Collector Edition action figure. So there's a picture of Thanos there. You got some nice, like, purple and white there. That looks pretty cool. And then on the side here, you have a picture of Thanos. It's almost like a mugshot of Thanos there. So that's pretty cool. And then if you go on to the back, you can see, if you don't know who he is, there is a read up there. So you can read that if you're interested. There's a picture of the two figures. Then here's a reference picture for Thanos that says, come and get me. Okay. Then you have Black Cat as well as Doctor Doom. I don't have either of those, and I don't intend to get either of those because this figure is basically a statue, and I'm not actually a big Doctor Doom fan. But yeah, so there you go. And then there is all of that, and there's not really a whole lot going on. So that is about it for this review. So if you enjoyed this review, or you like Thanos, or you like Death, or you agree that Marvel Select needs to have a Kamala Khan figure or anything like that, if you like any of that, do be sure to leave a like. Let me know in the comments what you think of Thanos, or of this figure, or anything like that. If you feel so inclined. If you want to see more Marvel Select reviews, do be sure to subscribe, because I have reviewed a few of them already, and I do intend to continue that with a few more. But other than all of that, I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you all later. Goodbye.